We can have all of that if we have people who want to participate in that way. If we want people to be passive, if we want people who are passive and indifferent and slothful and don't really care and only really care about being secure at no matter what cost and being safe no matter at what lack of participation in their own lives, if you're a democracy, that's what you have. You have to have a people who understand that democracy is not made up of passivity, but made up of activism and individual responsibility, individual action, knowledgeable participation. If you have people who understand all of these things, then they can make up their mind whether we want a democracy or not. But if you have people who are so apathetic, so uninformed about what is going on and what their vote means, then there may be no hope, I'm not sure. We can have whatever we want. We get whatever we deserve. But I don't understand why we deserve so much less than we can possibly have.
The lady right there.
Thank you. What is it about you that makes a play pick you to write it?
What is there about me that makes a play pick me to write it? Because all minds are different. Everybody's mind works very, very differently. People are things. Some people are axe murderers. Some people are Republicans. It's hard to imagine. Some people write string quartets. People have minds, and different people do different things. I happen to have the mind that turns various experiences that I have, wants to turn them into a play. And that is because my mind functions the way a playwright's mind functions. So I have the functioning mind of a playwright, which is why that happens. You know, there are many very important novelists who wanted to be playwrights, and they weren't any good at it. Henry James was a terrible playwright, you know, pretty good novelist. Thomas Hardy was a terrible playwright and a pretty good novelist. T.S. Eliot was not a terrible playwright, but his poetry is infinitely better. People are things, fundamentally. The only 20th century writer I can think of who was equally good as a playwright and a prose writer was Samuel Beckett. But that's because Sam Beckett reinvented both forms completely, and his plays are his novels, and his novels are his plays. Everybody has a mind that functions in a certain way and brings different results to experience. I happen to, my mind functions as a playwright's mind. It's that simple.
Thank you.
And the last question from this lady right here.
Thank you. I recently returned from London, and I was so impressed with the youth at the theatre nightly, especially in the Fringe, the National Theatre, and the Royal Court, that are doing some experimental theatre as well. But I did see the lady from Dubuque, and I thought it was marvelous. And I'm wondering, I certainly have my own thoughts about this. About
don't get too parochial.
No, but how it's what happened in New York 20 years with.
Oh, the lady is talking about my play, The Lady from Dubuque.
Yes.
Which opened in New York 20-some years ago, and vanished after 8 performances.
Do you think that the decades and how people now look at terminal illness have anything to do with the acceptance of the play?
I was interested in the response to the play this time in London, where the response seems to have been a lot more encouraging. Yeah. Though, as is usually the case, the intelligent critics were favorable. And the ones who aren't intelligent were unfavorable. The only thing that bothers me about this theory of mine, that the intelligent people will be favorable, is that somebody who is so intelligent about one of my plays will turn around the next play and be so dumb. So that there's something slightly wrong with my theory there. But I don't know, was the subject matter of the lady from Dubuque dying, was that a little more troublesome in 25 years ago for people to accept? Is it not than it is now? I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. I won't say that the play has become the hit of London. It's doing perfectly well, but I think we have a few empty seats every night. But you can't go around. All you can do when you write a play is hope that you're going to get a decent production, and that some people are going to see it and pay attention to it, and maybe gain something from it. If your goal is vast popularity, you're probably going to be selling yourself short somewhere to get it. You really have to allow things to go the way they want to and be what they want. You have to take your chances. You have to be willing to take your chances. And that's why I know that some of my plays, which have a greater component of difficulty than others, are not going to be as popular. But that's the way life goes. And you really can't worry about stuff like that. You do your job, you hope you're doing it reasonably well, and you hope some people want to pay attention. If they do, great. If they don't, well, tough.